In this video, I wanted to explore a little bit about using follow actions and seeing if I can use them creatively today. Let's get into it and see what we can do. So I've got a little break here. One tiny thing I like to do with breaks is put this transient preservation thing to just one forward arrow and then bring it down a couple of %. I do it loads so you can hear. And you just get a little bit of tightness on the break. And I'm going to hit Command J to lock that in. I'm just going to do the tiniest fade as well to make sure I don't get any clicks at the end. Command J to print that down. I'm going to right click, slice to new MIDI track. Do you know what? I'm actually pretty happy with that today. It's done quite a good job, which is nice. But what I like to do with the breaks is go in and manually look for the snares and just slide them early, the tiniest bit. So you see how this is already a little bit early. I'm just going to bring that the tiniest bit earlier, really tiny. Same with this snare as well. Okay, so we've got our breakbeat there. I'm going to pick that up and drop that into here. Make that a loop up the top here. I want a breakbeat that's going to morph up itself through follow actions. Let's try a short loop first, see what we can get working. So what I'm going to do is pick little random bits, so 2 counts from this one. Then I'm going to Alt and drag, bring this down, and with the loop points, select a different amount. So that's, I think that's 1.5. No, that might be 2 counts again, but just on starting on a weird spot. And bring this one down and make this start on another different place. Yeah, that's a cool place to start. Maybe I'll make it this long. So now what I've got is a whole bunch of different loop points selected on each break. And I just did that by moving this yellow bar at the top on each individual clip. Inside of these loop points, I'm going to use follow actions. So I'm going to go into this window launch and then click follow action. And what I want to do is say, okay, I want this to play, but then what I want you to do is 50% of the time, I want you to play the next one in the sequence, but sometimes I want you to play just another one. So don't play yourself again, because if you click play again, it'll just loop it. If you say any, that'll just play anyone, including the one that's just played, but other forces it to go to a different one. So I'm going to click other for this. So the chances of that playing twice, I might actually put that 70-30. Go to the next one and you just do the same again. So when I play these breaks now, I don't know how it's going to come out. This is just a little experiment and we can fine tune it and tweak it, but we should hopefully get a randomized breakbeat pattern each time. What I can do now is make a loop of about 16 bars, import a MIDI track and have the input be the breakbeat 14, arm that and print, and I should get a little bit of randomized breakbeat edits, hopefully, that the computer does for me through these follow actions playing. Let's give that a try. You got to remember first to turn off the MIDI input so that you don't get 2 breaks. Okay, so I don't really like the second half here. It doesn't really work. It's just kind of random, but there's definitely something cool and quirky about this half here. And now I've got just an inspiration. I can go in and edit that up, move that about. So that's one way you can think about using the follow actions. I just thought it was really interesting to be able to use this follow actions for chopping breakbeats and what that might look like. And I'm pretty happy with that break. The only thing I want to do now is just maybe bring that snare down just a touch. And I could go through, find each snare and turn them down, but I don't really feel like doing that. So I'm going to try and use a compressor just to grab a little bit of the snare. You can see by using the sidechain filter and some settings. So now, yeah, just 2 dB to bring that snare back just a little bit. And there we go. We've got a breakbeat that we can use for summing. So I'm going to bounce that out and move on to the next one. Check out mattchapmanaudio.com for mixing and mastering, one-to-one music production blogs, and exclusive content in the store. That's mattchapmanaudio.com. Okay, so for my second try at this, I've just loaded in a synth. So I'm just going to create a new blank MIDI part, just put a note in. F sharp. This next one is F sharp long. That one's the G. So I have another G. Let's start really quick. Okay, let's try a different sound on that, see what we can get. Let me get a MIDI track here and print from number 3. Capture a bit, see if there's any cool bits that come out. That's one way we can use the follow action for MIDI printing. The thing about melody is you do need some thing to come back to, and while this is still random, it's not going to be anything, but I think if I spent a little bit of time and chopped out just the bits that I liked, maybe there could be something there. Maybe that, pretty cool. That was a bit quicker maybe, so if all of this just played quicker. Yeah, that's pretty cool actually. I actually don't mind that little melody bit. I like using this tool of highlighting the MIDI and then stretching it, because you get little notes that just go off of time a bit, but some that lock in, so you get that feeling of groove and stuff, which is quite nice. That bit's not so bad. Maybe there's something here. Yeah, that's a bit cooler. There you go. I actually don't hate that melody, which is rare for me. So that's actually not bad technique. A bit of delay, a bit of processing, this might be something, So we'll try that out, see what we can get. That's pretty cool actually. What I'm going to do is take each little part of that melody, so just the very first couple of notes on each one, make those audio file by Command J and just reversing them, and then on each one of these just adding a big long reverb, so something like this, what's that, 7 seconds, big mix, nice frequency range, just classic reverb, really long reverb, and then print that again. So this is what it sounds like. But you want that big tail, because I'm going to bounce that in place and then grab just the tails. So this one here is for the first one. Reverse that again and try and get this so that this kind of reverses into that. Then we get this other one. I just chop off the beginning just a tiny bit and grab that again and reverse that. And then these will kind of move into that stuff. So you got to get it all perfect and everything. So the reverse reverb just drags right into that first note. And I like to do just a tiny bit of overhang just to have those two kind of talk to each other as they go across. It's kind of got that sway kind of feeling, but now it needs a little bit of that verb, because otherwise it sounds weird that it was in that space and now isn't in that space. So let me give that a much shorter version of that and just a little bit on the mix. This one doesn't really fit in, to be honest. So what I might do is just detune it and see if that works. Yeah, detuning the reverse reverb's quite cool actually. Let me try that in there. Now we've got something that we can actually morph up and use, but it's kind of a melody that I consider using in one of my tracks because it's got a really cool character, it's all morphing up. Let's see if it works with those drums. Quite like it, but I'm thinking that there's too much going on. So what I might do is just add a filter just so that it comes in and out a little bit more. So I like this bit. Hey, I don't mind that little loop. Wow, and it's got melody. So that's a real treat for me. Anyway, that was my plan to show you a little bit about follow action MIDI clips and how you can maybe explore those in your production. So if you've got any other tips about follow actions or how you use them, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear about it. And really, that was it for today. So until next time, nice one.